Welcome back to another episode of Cinema Society Saturday. I'm Gus from Askewed Reviews. Now, just in case you don't know what Cinema Society Saturday is, this is where a bunch of us who absolutely love horror movies have all come together. Then each week we are randomly given a theme. We then partner up, give our partner a movie that fits within the theme, and then we review those films for all y'all. And in case you ain't figured it out yet, the theme for this week is rednecks, hillbillies, and farm folk. Also, rustic and rural backwoods areas count as well. All right, though, so all joking aside, my partner for this week is Joey from Philly. And if you're not already following him, definitely go and do so. Now, for this week's theme, Joey gave me the film of Killbillies, the 2015 film that was directed and written by Tomasz Gorkic. Now, this is also a foreign film, so you might also know it under the name Idol. Now, as I just mentioned, this is a foreign film made in Slovenia, but do keep in mind, even though it is in a different language, it is subtitled in English. I'm not always the biggest fan of movies where you have to read subtitles, but this is definitely one of those ones where there's enough going on that I was able to deal with it. So let me tell you more about the concept for this film. It starts off that we meet our main characters, which happen to be a photographer, his assistant, and two models. Now, the four of them are driving out to a very secluded area to try to do a photo shoot. It does appear pretty quickly that the photographer did not do a great job of vetting the area, because while they're trying to get everything set up, they're soon met by two local gentlemen who are, let's just say, not the nicest of people and definitely seem to come from the hillbilly background. The two gentlemen seem to be very aggressive right from the beginning, and even though the photographer is trying to calm things down, that seems like an impossibility at this point as he gets knocked out. From here, it appears that the rest of this group has now been kidnapped by these two men and are being held hostage for some weird and nefarious reason. So, will this group of coworkers manage to find some way of escaping, or will they end up meeting a very gruesome end by these two gentlemen that have absolutely zero morals and an affinity for violence? So, this was a pretty fun movie to watch. It definitely is a classic trope of that style of film where you have a few people from the city essentially heading out to a backwoods area where they probably shouldn't be at. And the people who live in that area, of course, immediately dislike these people just because they're not from the local area. And of course, like so many of these films, these simple hill folk pretty much immediately turn to violence just because that's apparently all they know. I will say there was one thing about this movie that kind of didn't make sense to me. Well, maybe not didn't make sense, but just was kind of weird is the subplot that's going on with these hill folk and what they're trying to accomplish, or at least what they do out here. I don't know. It didn't fully make sense to me, but then again, maybe I'm just not fully grasping it. So, at least for me on my scale, I'm going to give Killbillies a 3 out of 5. If you'd like to check it out for yourselves, it is currently streaming for free on Tubi. Now, once more, I am going to mention you should definitely go and follow Joey if you're not already doing so. Not only does he have some really cool reviews, but also some really fun content, and let's see if we can try to get him up to 1,000 followers. He's so very close. Also, one more reason you should go and check out his content is because of the movie that I gave him to review. And that was the 1981 film Just Before Dawn. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Killbillies. And if you'd like to see what everyone else in the group did for their reviews for this theme, just look up the hashtag Cinema Society Saturday. And y'all come back now, you hear?